Space News 73. Alfratan craft crashes, new ship Aldebaran, the Urmah talk about Ekata. Hello, thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. This is Marie, with another edition of Space News. Welcome to my channel. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. I am writing this on the morning of April 11th, 2025. In the first piece of news for today, more on the Alfratan Centaurus. Last Monday, April 7th, a medium-sized Alfratan cargo transport craft with 5 people on board and a full load in its holds, crashed onto the side of the Andromedan biosphere ship Viera. The 5 Alfratans managed to eject right before the impact, saving their lives. In this type of craft, the entire cockpit of the ship violently comes off and moves away, unlike some human aircraft, which only have the seats detach. This ensures the survival of the crew as they don't always have on a full spacesuit and gear. As the impact happened on approach to land on the Viera and very close to it, it occurred under its energy shields. Therefore, the impact was complete and devastating in that area. At first, I was not fully informed about what had happened, but CIC here just briefed me on more details about what occurred. It appears that the ship was overloaded far beyond its cargo capacity. Therefore, its gravity engines, those used for close maneuvers, could not cancel the excessive mass of the ship, causing the pilots to lose control as it approached the Viera, because the sheer mass of the Andromedan biosphere pulled the Alfratan craft towards it, and its engines were incapable of counteracting this attraction. Large starships in space tend to attract each other when floating with no engine power, as this is a well-known effect because all matter floating in a free medium will tend to agglutinate, to stick together to form larger blobs of masses of it. This can also be observed on Earth as sea ships, especially the larger ones, also tend to move together when close enough. This besides the also well-known effect of hydraulic suction that occurs when 2 large ships sail moving together side by side, like when a supply ship is feeding another in high seas during military maneuvers, for example. The impact against the Viera resulted in the total loss of the Alfratan cargo ship and extensive damage to several inhabited levels on the side of the Andromedan biosphere ship. Although all 5 Alfratan pilots and crew members survived the incident, unfortunately, 8 people lost their lives in the Viera, and 37 were injured, some of them badly. Those who required the treatment were placed in Andromedan full-immersion medical wet pods. This is the worst incident of this kind in the Viera in years, and it is the second time an Alfratan craft crashes into it. The first time was around the year 2017 when a Black Knight fighter ship suffered a catastrophic engine failure caused by a plasma turbine internal misalignment, which caused it to slam into the Viera at a high rate of speed. Once more, the pilots survived, but a young Andromedan boy inside the Viera did not, despite all the efforts to save his life. Incidents and crashes involving Alfratan Centauri craft are becoming so common that they have become a nuisance. Once more, the Alfratan High Command stated that it will look into this problem, but they always say that with no results. As with most of the other crashes and incidents regarding Alfratan starcraft, alcohol consumption is said to have been a factor. In the next piece of news, also regarding Alfratans, they are once more shadowing our fleet at the exact distance where we cannot complain, but they are close enough to be bothersome, as their presence there, behind and above us, is a hostile position, an attacking point, and their presence there also blocks some of our rear-view sensors, Therefore we cannot see what else may be following us during our orbits. This is considered rude even by the Galactic Federation and its rules, even more so when those Alfratans transmit yells and drunkard screams in all muon frequencies while they are there attempting to bother us. We have resorted to ignoring them as much as possible, yet we do note and record everything they do in case we must take action against them further on, and we will not hesitate to do whatever is needed. As I have mentioned before, we are well aware that there are at least 2 governments in Alpha Centauri, and countless levels in those 2 as well. One attempts to be independent, friendly, and cooperative, and the other is a puppet of the Cabal on Earth, a fact that is quite obvious to see, but that is officially denied. This means that it is very highly probable that those ships that constantly harass my fleet belong to the Cabal on Earth and their secret space program, and not to the Alfratan official government, despite having Alfratan transponder codes which we know the Cabal on Earth also uses. Moving on to the next piece of news, the newest Taygetan large ship, the dreadnought Aldebaran, arrived in Earth's orbit last Monday, April 7th, and joined my fleet here. She is the biggest and meanest Taygetan warship built to now, and she is fully equipped and state-of-the-art. Her mission here is fleet protection, and a powerful deterrent to other hostile races which are close to this area, such as the Greys from Orion and their dubious reptilian and Federation-sponsored Etorthan friends. Needless to say, it is also a deterrent against whoever is constantly harassing us, while hiding behind Alfratan transponder codes. Monday, April 7th, marks the start of the first tour of service of the brand new Taygetan dreadnought starship, Aldebaran, which is the first of her class meant to slowly replace the perfectly capable but aging 9 Alcyone-class dreadnoughts. Aldebaran is the 9th major Taygetan starship, currently in low Earth orbit, and the 4th dreadnought ship here, reinforcing the Alcyone, the Asterope, and the recently arrived Atlas. Moving to the next piece of news, I asked Ari, the Urmah tiger, just this morning if he knew more details about Ekata, the dangerous giant garden slug that lives deep within the Andromedan biosphere ship Viera. He said that the Urmah knew that the Galactic Federation had indeed captured the creature to relocate it from a planet orbiting the star known on Earth as Zeta Cygni in the Cygnus constellation, because it was a menace to their terraforming projects there. Ari said that they captured it using remote computerized mechanisms and robots, as no biological being with a consciousness could get close to Ekata without having its brain fried. So it looks like having Ekata in the Viera is some kind of strategy to keep Ekata under Federation control, yet having it so close is also quite a danger. As I mentioned in my video about Ekata, he is said to be very positive and close to source, so all that he causes in people, making them evolve several lifetimes at once, is only a good thing, propitiating spiritual evolution. Yet observing this closely, Ekata does so for its own protection and not for any altruistic reasons, and it is also doing so strongly against its victims' free will. Therefore, Ekata cannot be taken as a positive being. It may be argued that it may have some positive effects on whoever encounters it, yet in essence it is destroying its victim mentally, forcing the subject to evolve, therefore inevitably becoming someone else. A giant garden slug has no physical protection, so it resorted to developing extreme psychic abilities as a weapon. Ari insists that Ekata is, quote, just an animal, and it is working for its own interest and protection. However, it does not kill its victims and has the tendency to absorb everything they know because their brains are completely exposed to its own. So it has some kind of limited concept of ethics and of empathy, yet it is still imposing its points of view onto others by using extreme psychic force. Ari continued to explain that Ekata uses the astral to manipulate the minds of its victims, exploiting most people's and species' inability to understand and to take advantage of the astral, and therefore is invasive to others. Ari also explained that one species they know for sure that Ekata cannot manipulate is his own, the Urmah, as they are also extremely mentally strong, and with full comprehension of what happens in astral existential planes of existence, and how to use and navigate it. Ekata dwells there, where it creates and manifests its own existential realms to its needs, yet still has one aspect of itself existing in the material world, and it is the garden slug we see. Although Ari said that it is hard to see or find Ekata while in the astral because it morphs into whatever it wants to be. The Urmah do see Ekata as a danger because it modifies its surroundings from the astral so they suit its needs, and therefore can cause a lot of problems, and the causes of those problems may be difficult to detect while living in the physical world. Ari insists that Ekata is not so positive, and can be, or could be, the cause of at least many of the problems we are seeing happening on Earth. According to the cats, they have already classified Ekata as some sort of dangerous entity, as seen from the astral side of things. Ari also said that they have seen that numerous entities worship Ekata as some kind of astral god, and may go to extremes to please it, and you can imagine the ramifications. This is why the Urmah consider that Ekata may be behind many problems on Earth. The Urmah see its presence in the Andromedan Vieira, which serves as the local Galactic Federation headquarters, as not a coincidence but as something clearly intentional, as part of the Federation's mechanisms to create chaos on Earth, for countless souls to go through a learning experience based on extreme hardship. After all, why else would they bother bringing and having such a dangerous creature in a large starship in such close proximity to Earth? I mean, if Ekata is so dangerous, they could have eliminated it somehow, or at least sent it to the farthest and most remote swamp planet they could find, and not have it there in the center of such an important Federation biosphere ship such as the Vieira. Ari describes Ekata's energy as seen from the astral as a bright spot with countless orange-yellow luminous tentacles full of thorns and constantly moving in every direction, yet most of them going towards Earth and its astral planes of existence. The Urmah believe that what the Galactic Federation claims about Ekata, as being a benevolent light being, is only propaganda to justify its presence in their biosphere ship, and for other people who belong to other star races not to ask questions. Moving on to other things, I want to say that I am not paying much attention to what is happening on Earth at a geopolitical level, although my CIC teams on board all 9 starships here are, and they inform me of whatever may be relevant. That is why I do not write much about politics and economic subjects, because I have my attention on the exopolitical stage happening outside Earth. In the end, what really rules Earth and everything that is happening in it starts in space, where its real controllers dwell and reside. I know I must be aware of everything, as much as possible, but as time and resources are limited, I'd like to know if you would like me to write more about what is going on Earth, but that would mean that I would write less about what is happening outside the planet. There is only so much I can write in a day, and only so much my Lyrian human brain can handle as well. Before I go, I want to thank the sponsors of my channel because without your support, it would not exist. You are always on my mind and I am deeply thankful to your efforts with your donations, so much so that I feel I do not thank you enough. Yet I don't know how else I could, because as things are now, I don't know how to get closer to you. You keep this channel alive, and you keep me happy and motivated to write more. I still depend on Earth for my sustenance, despite being inside big starships which are impossible to make on Earth, but I cannot eat them, and I cannot get things that let me engage with and get closer to all of you. Thank you, my friends, and I only wish I could find a way to thank you more. This will be all for today. As always, thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. It helps this channel grow a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love and appreciation, your friend, Marie.